Hello, Engineering 1 students. I'm going to talk about line conventions, some of the basics of technical sketching, and some things that you're going to see in Autodesk Inventor. This course is not strictly about 3D modeling, but it is a part of this course. Line conventions. Lines of varying style and thicknesses, or thickness, are used in specific ways to develop and communicate graphic messages about an object's geometry. The next few slides show some basic line conventions and their use. So that's technically what we're studying is line conventions is what this is called. Construction line is simply used to kind of outline a specific feature of the object that you're going to end up drawing in. It's just a guide. Then typically we erase construction lines in our final submission. Object line is the line that you actually would use to outline the entire figure. Those are always nice and dark when we have our final drawing. Hidden line. Hidden line is something that is a dashed line like this, and it's showing that there's a feature behind that very front plane view that we can't necessarily see. So there might be a cutout further into the object. So that's represented with a hidden line. Center line. Center lines, if you have a cylindrical cut, then this would be the center of that symmetrical cut through. I guess the cut could even be rectangular, but since it's symmetrical, you're going to have a center line there. Section line. So in like Autodesk Inventor, you can kind of like pick your own section that it would pretend like it's sliced into the object for you, and you could actually get a better view of that portion. So that's your section or section line, just to get a better view of material cut away. Short break. This is a short break line. It's not, doesn't mean the part is actually broken. It just means that you're trying to reveal more detail, and that's where you're revealing the detail is right at this break line. It can also be to shorten a long continuous part. Dimension line, that's where we actually put measurements on an object. So these are dimension lines with the arrow to the actual measurement to the rest of that arrow. Those dimension lines meet at extension lines. They extend out from the part. That's why they're called extension lines. They extend out from those object lines. Now we have a long break. Now I'll talk about kind of if it's like a long part, if this part is like a full 12 inches or 24 inches long, we don't want to just make it that long on our paper. So you would have this long break to show that you're actually breaking it up and that it's actually longer than what it's represented in the picture. So it shows the 12 inches here. It shows 1.25. This is clearly not to scale because this would go extensively longer in the actual drawing itself. Leader line is just representing like an arc measurement or a circle measurement, and that's what you would use. You'd use a leader line, and these are always supposed to be drawn diagonally like that. You're never going to have a leader line that goes horizontal or vertical. And line conventions. So these standards relate to technical drawing, more precise than freehand sketching. Use these standards as a guide when sketching, and you're also going to have these same ideas when you're in something like Autodesk Inventor, so an AutoCAD program. Complex object sketches may require different line types to overlap. And then there's general rules here. So object lines take precedence over hidden lines, hidden and center lines. Hidden lines take precedence over center lines, and cutting planes take precedence over it's cut off. Here's the precedence. So if you had, and you would represent this as a kind of a hidden line because that cutout portion, then your object lines here would take precedence.